The final song that Simon and Garfunkel ever recorded together was Bridge Over Troubled Water, and it ranks as one of the best tracks in musical history. An iconic folktale steeped in the personal problems of its writer, Paul Simon, and his professional partner, Art Garfunkel. Performed by the iconic American folk double acts Simon and Garfunkel, Bridge Over Troubled Waters was recorded towards the end of the swinging 60s and released in January of 1970. Shared as a follow-up to The Boxer, produced by the band and Roy Haley, the track featured on the group's fifth and final studio album, Bridge Over Troubled Water, written by Simon and performed largely on the piano. The song has also employed techniques from Phil Spector's Wall of Sound with the help of Los Angeles-based session musicians The Wrecking Crew. While the track will forever be attached to both the legendary singers Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel, the song is deeply rooted both in Simon's past and his then present, while the material dealt with artistic and professional issues he was living with Art. The song was also rendered with a spiritual sounds of his teenage years. Simon had always harbored an interest in gospel since hearing Sonny Till and the Orioles' epic recording of Crying in the Chapel as an adolescent. He told CBSN, "I loved the emotion of the singers and the songs, and there was something mysterious just about the word chapel because I didn't know at 12 or 13 what a chapel was or looked like. It probably would have been different if they had sung Crying in the Synagogue." One particular track on the Silvertones album, "Oh Mary, Don't You Weep," is a deeply spiritual song from darker days before the Civil War. Reverend Claude Jeter, the band's lead singer, added a phrase which could be traced back to the church: "I'll be a bridge over deep water if you trust in my name." It was here that something sparked in Paul Simon. His hours of continued musical musings had led him to something so many others would have missed. He landed on a gem. Simon, speaking to the CBSN, said of writing the now iconic melody, "It was just like that. The essence of the song took maybe 20 minutes. The first two verses were done in 2 hours, and the melody was something like 15 notes, which is long. I thought, this is better than I usually write." While Simon is a gifted writer when creating characters from his imagination, the song's first lines were steeped in the now souring relationship with Art Garfunkel. "I like the first lines of a song to be truthful, and those were," he said. "I was feeling weary because of the problems with Artie and other things. I was also feeling small." That's not to say that Simon didn't still draw on the wonderful talents as a storyteller to render the song with a new color. But then the song goes away from memoir. It comes from my imagination. As one of the last songs to be recorded by the pair, it holds an added weight of gravitas to proceedings. However, the sheer beauty of this track remains far beyond the end of the band. Its transcending ethereal folk sound, only emphasized by the gospel lines, makes Bridge Over Troubled Water one of those songs to get lost in, to swan dive into with closed eyes and let the splash cleanse your soul.